ことで見ていっていただけてお話をしていただけたらなと思っております。So next three session, we would like to welcome the speakers from overseas. So first, we would like to welcome Shana from Endangered Wildlife.
Anna, could you share your screen? Yes. And could you try
Hopefully
to speak?
you can see it.
Yes, I can see you.
Okay.
こちら
Okay,
Zoom の
and you can hear me fine.
Yes, I can hear you fine. So,
Perfect.
floor is yours. Please go ahead.
So, good evening. My name is Shana Gavron, and I am the CEO of Endangered Wildlife. We are an award-winning Estonian ESG software company that is solving the climate crisis by using technology to demonstrate the positive impact of biodiversity. There is a lot of focus on solving the climate crisis, but this will never be achieved without actually solving the biodiversity crisis first. However, this is often overlooked as biodiversity is not easy to understand or to value. And without understanding the value, it is difficult to include biodiversity into decisions. To solve this challenge, we are the first and only company developing a machine learning software tool that calculates the financial value of biodiversity. This helps people to understand the value of biodiversity in simple monetary terms, which means that biodiversity can be included in reporting, in decision-making, and for measuring impact return on investment. Our software is in development. Our advanced algorithms are based on verifiable internally developed methodologies that combine pure statistics with pure finance, environmental economics, and environmental statistics using credible and auditable data. Our method and software is designed to literally be suitable for any species, anywhere, and used by anyone. We have also developed and launched the Environmental Footprint Calculator, which is one of the more comprehensive footprint solutions currently in the market. The ESG software market is exploding and could easily exceed 1 billion euros by 2026 due to the increased interest and need for ESG reporting solutions. And considering the service that we provide, our software can be used by all stakeholders. We offer the valuation service on a consulting basis and the EFC as a SaaS. To allow us to scale up, we will offer the service of the Biodiversity Evaluator as a SaaS and license it to partners and clients using APIs. We have a global product that uniquely meets the need of the growing ESG reporting requirements. Our approach is flexible enough to apply to any species, and we have already valued nearly 120 species, including plants, mammals, reptiles, birds, fish, amphibians, insects, and a spider. We are a passionate, diverse, and professional team with relevant experience in finance, environment, statistics, IT, and marketing. I personally have multiple master's degrees in finance and conservation and over 15 years experience in investment banking. At Endangered Wildlife, we value all life. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Shana,
very
for your
much,
great
Shana.
presentation. That's awesome.
Okay, let's get the questions from the judge. 梅澤さん、どうぞ。
Well, thank you very much for making a great presentation from Estonia. Let me make sure I understood your presentation correctly. So you have developed the software to evaluate the financial value of biodiversity in a specific environment you apply the software to. That means
Yes.
You have rigorous algorithm and logic to evaluate various elements of the biodiversity depending on the environment, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So we look at it on a very regional basis. And if the data is available, we can literally do any species in that region, either individually or as a group. And the way we've developed the methodology, it is flexible enough that we cover things such as carbon, as aesthetic value up to 28 economic values, financial hedge values, plus the role that the species plays within its own habitat. And through that, we actually then apply financial value to that species.
So can you give us a little more overview about your logic when you apply that method to a specific environment? You mentioned carbon impact and aesthetics. But what other elements have you incorporated in this software? And how do you translate each element into the financial value?
So I put up a slide which demonstrates how we actually approach it. So we look at carbon value, which is very suitable, for example, for the mangroves for seagrass. We look at aesthetic value, which is more suitable, for example, with the tigers and the dolphins and the killer whales. We look at the economic values. So we basically approach a species the same way as you'd approach a company when valuing it, because each species creates different type of economic values. So whether it's employment or alcoholic beverages or tourism, we've identified all the different sectors that could be applied or could be generating revenues through biodiversity. The hedge value is more of your financial hedge value, essentially saying what would you be willing to pay to protect or maintain a healthy population between the minimum viable population and the carrying capacity, and effectively the impact value places the species into its location. This is why it's location specific. So you can see what is it interacting with, what is the type of climate pressures on it. So if you take, for example, a fish in Japan would be different to a fish, even if it's the same species, to one that's in the Atlantic. So we have the data, it feeds through the algorithm, and the process is through the same way as you'd be doing for a company to generate a financial value at the end.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any questions?
Okay.
You can take both
So
questions.
there are many ESG reporting tools already available in apps, and some are comprehensive, some are a little more focused. So your tool focuses only on biodiversity, or it's just an element of the comprehensive tool, or are you the only one doing this to focus on biodiversity in ESG reporting tool?
So currently our focus is biodiversity, and we are literally the only ones doing this. There's a lot of talk, especially in Europe, in terms of how to measure and report on biodiversity. Most of that is sitting on an index, and I've had multiple conversations, and I've actually said to people, do you actually understand what that index means, and can you use it to make any decision? And except for one conservationist, the answer is always no. So what we're trying to do is actually be able to give a tool that you do not need to re-educate the stakeholders. You can go to a CEO, you can go to an investor, you can go to your internal stakeholders, your clients, and be able to say, this is the value of our impact through biodiversity. And in doing so, for example, if you have a water body that you are going to clean up, you can actually measure today what is the value of the biodiversity there. In 1 year's time, you can measure it and calculate the value. 5 years' time, again, you can recalculate. So you can actually demonstrate what value you've created through restocking the fish, or by cleaning out the water system, to actually say, this is my actual impact return on investment, which makes you more comparable, more understandable, rather than merely saying, I'm a good company. So it takes away that part of that greenwashing effort by being able to literally say, these are the species I have, this is the value that they create for society, economy, and environment. So by supporting them, this is my impact that I'm creating.
Thank you.
Okay, the last question from Hiro.
Thank you. Can I ask you sort of a basic question in order to sort of correctly understand your business model? So who is your customer? Is it basically corporations who are like environmentally conscious, or investors? Who's your main target customer in this case?
Well, literally, we can cater for anyone. So what we've done already, we've worked with NGOs to help them motivate the value of their work. We're also working with some companies, tech companies, agricultural companies. We've been approached by governments. We've been approached by the financial institutions. We've been approached by infrastructure, real estate. basically everyone is interacting with biodiversity, and any changes in regulations which are happening at the moment, which are requiring you to report on biodiversity impact, they all need a solution, and essentially we're able to provide them with a solution for that.
Okay, thank you very much. The time is up, so we would like to move on to the next page. So thank you very much, Shana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, really, biodiversity is a really important component. Like the task force on the nature-related financial disclosure is now happening, so we really need to monitor